The Engrossment Rules, Resolutions, and Credentials Committee will now come to order. Madam Vice Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderman Bomer. Alderwoman Davis.
All right. Okay. The engrossment.
Alderwoman Howard. Alderman Gunther.
Here.
Alderman Oldenburg.
Present.
Did I miss you?
Alderwoman Rice.
Present.
Alderwoman Clark Hubbard.
Here.
Chairman Coder.
Here.
6 present, you have quorum.
Great, thank you, Madam Vice Clerk. All right, we'll be brief here, guys. I think the first item on the agenda is approval of the minutes from the April 19th, 2021 meeting. Looking back, I don't know, was anybody that is currently on this committee on the previous rules committee? Okay,
No.
well, I have reviewed in the Google Drive the minutes from the April 19th meeting from the previous session, which was a meeting where they, I think, enrolled some bills and mainly looked at credentials for the new members, and they seem to be in order and in good form. So I guess I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the April 19th, 2021 committee meeting.
Second.
Seconded by the Alderman from the 9th. Any discussion on the minutes? No. Oh, go ahead.
Chair, I would suggest that we use a Robert's Rules order that allows you to put those into record as the chair, because technically none of us should vote yes.
All right, well, then we'll do that. I'll just go ahead and take the suggestion of the Alderwoman from the 19th, and we'll put those into the record. I mean, and if anyone, any members of the board or the previous chair has an issue with them, we can take that up at a later date, but we'll go ahead and enter those into the record, and we will not vote on those minutes. So I'll withdraw my motion to approve. Okay, we don't have any board bills. We don't have any resolutions. About the only item on the agenda today, folks, and I do anticipate, in future, having some future meetings. I've been speaking with our clerk and our vice clerk, and some suggestions that they've shared with me on some proposed rule changes they'd like to see. My plan is, after talking to Mr. Kennedy, is to circulate a memo he shared with me, with the committee, and then we'll have, gives everyone a chance to digest those. It's about 4 pages worth of rule changes. And then we can have a follow-up meeting in the coming weeks to discuss some of those. Some of them are, I think most of them are pretty practical changes, basically updating our rules to how things really work in practice, or how they should work, where we can make tweaks to make the staff's lives easier, and actually have the rules reflect how we operate on a day-to-day basis. I think that's a good idea. And also entertain any other rule changes people have. If folks have good common sense suggestions, I think this, will be the place where we take those up. What I don't want to do, and I've talked to most of the committee members about this, and I've spoken to the staff, is I don't want us to get bogged down in weekly meetings. I don't think it's necessary. In years past, it's not how the board has operated. As you all know, we did tweak some of our rules to get rid of the enrollment process, which was left over from a bygone era. But we still have an engrossment process, and it's important, and it exists in the charter and it exists in our rules. But the rules also provide for us to give us an opportunity to empower the chair and the vice chair to engross on behalf of the committee. And I'm interested in, based on my conversations with staff and members of the committee, I think everybody would much prefer, we go back to that process where, look, we're going to make sure the bills are in the proper form, that the amendments are there, that the attachments are there, all that work that is important, it needs to get done. And I know in years past, it had some of that had fallen through the cracks. I don't think that's happening anymore. There's good systems in place, and we'll continue with those. But I don't think we need to waste the staff's time and all of your time with weekly meetings to, go through these bills line by line. That's something, myself and Vice Chair Clark Hubbard, and the staff can handle without, having weekly meetings. And I also don't think, that this committee is a place where we have substantive discussions on bills. That's supposed to be done, in the other standing committees where the bills are assigned. And we need to get back to doing that. So I'm going to open that up to just, I've made some comments, and I know Alderwoman Clark Hubbard's going to have a motion to that effect, I think, on relating to Rule 65, which empowers the chair and the vice chair. But before that, I'll happily entertain questions, or if there's any discussion or thoughts or concerns. So let me run through the list and see if anyone has any comments before we move on. I know Alderman Vollmer's not here. Alderwoman Davis, anything?
Oh, I concur with everything you've said. I've been the previous chair of rules and was taught and understood that there are a lot of oversights with bills already. And once it's gone through committee process and the floor process, we are not a second committee to give approval to anything. We are just there to engross. So I thank you so much for that. And hopefully as we move forward, we are so blessed that we have a seasoned clerk who is really trying to put us in good order. And as we come up with ideas, they go through the clerk and they come through the chair, and you will assign them to our committee for us to work on. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Alderwoman Davis. I know Alderwoman Howard couldn't make it today. Alderman Gunther, anything?
So I guess the only thing you said that the vice chair Hubbard is going to make a change to rule number 65.
Say that again, Dan. You kind of cut out there at the end.
All right. Actually, pass me for a second. I'm going to get my headset.
Okay. Alderman Oldenburg, anything?
No, I've got nothing, Mr. Chairman. I agree with
Okay.
everything that's been stated.
Alderwoman Rice.
I think it's a good idea to reduce everybody's time and kind of flipping through things ourselves here. Just making sure it'll probably be a bit of a trial and error process. And I'm happy for that as bills come to us for perfection in third reading and that kind of thing, that we just ask for everyone's eyes on bills, closely as well, so that we can make sure that this process is running smoothly. And I appreciate the space here to work on our rules. And hopefully this can be a really collaborative and forward-thinking group as we work to modernize our rules. So I'm excited. I think it's a good idea. So
Thanks, Alderwoman. Alderman Gunther, you got your stuff up and running yet?
Yeah, can you hear me better?
Oh, that's much better.
All right, perfect.
What's going on? Go ahead.
These new computers we have, they don't have the best microphones. So yeah, my question was, you had mentioned that the vice chair was going to make a change to Rule 65, right? So I was just
it's to be clear, it's not a change. It's already in Rule 65.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Alderwoman
Boyd, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. Alderwoman Boyd, are you on this committee?
Yeah. To my understanding, I was. If I'm not, I don't have a problem. Trust me, I have enough to deal with.
Can somebody check on that? I don't see her on the roll call.
That's
Am I
fine.
missing that?
No, you fine. I'll get out. Thank you so much.
I'm going to defer to Sharita. Sharita, is Alderwoman Boyd on the committee?
She's not on this roll call, but I will check the committee assignment sheets to double check.
Okay, can you check that while we're here? Because if she's all right,
I sure will.
thanks.
I'll check it now.
All right. Let's give Sharita 1 second here. We may have to get our roll call sheet updated. I wasn't trying to ignore you, Alderwoman Boyd. I'm sorry.
I'm not on the committee, so I'm fine. Thank you so much.
Okay, all right. You're not on
Y'all
the
have
committee.
a
All right.
great day.
He's not on.
All right, perfect. Then, and then I guess last but not least, I'll send it to the vice chair, Alderwoman Clark Hubbard, if she has any comments or if she has a motion.
I don't have any comments, but I would like to move to authorize the chair and the vice chair of Rules Committee to engross bills on behalf of the committee as it relates and speaking to Rule number 65.
All right, there's been a motion made. Is there a
Second.
seconded by the Alderman from the 16th. Any discussion on the motion?
So can you give us a second here to read through Rule 65 one more time?
Sure. Yeah, sorry. And if you guys don't, there's a copy of the rules, the updated rules, and this is not a new rule. This has been in our rules. It should be in the Dropbox under BOA rules
It is.
for today's meeting.
Mhm.
And I can read it. I have it here if you'd like. So the first part mentions the engrossment process. I won't read that whole part, but paragraph 2 says, said committee on engrossment may authorize its chair or vice chair in the chair's absence to act on the committee's behalf. And that's speaking exclusively to the engrossment process, not to the other committee functions. You find that, Dan?
Yep.
Alderman? Okay.
Yep.
All right, so it's been moved by the Alderwoman from the 26th and seconded by the Alderman from the 16th that we authorize the chair and vice chair to engross on behalf of the committee. Any other discussion before we take a vote? Okay, hearing none, Madam Vice Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderman Vollmer. Alderwoman Davis.
Aye.
Alderwoman Howard. Alderman Gunther.
Aye.
Alderman Oldenburg.
Aye.
Alderwoman Rice.
Aye.
Alderwoman Clark Hubbard.
Aye.
Chairman Coder.
Aye.
6 aye votes.
All right, 6 aye votes. That motion has passed the committee. Thank you, everybody. I will give an opportunity. Does anyone have any announcements they'd like to make? Yes,
Just a
Alderwoman Rice.
A question, Mr. Chair. What is your anticipated time frame on the rules, on the rule revision process? So can we make an announcement to the rest of the board to open this up and say, hey, if folks are considering rules, we are going to be entering into this process and invite that out?
That's fine. We can make that announcement at tomorrow's meeting. I mean, I'm if people throughout the session have proposed changes they want us to entertain, I think that's certainly something we should be open to. But we can also try to do a bunch of these in one foul swoop. So I will talk to Terry and Sharita, and for that sort of initial crop that they suggested, let's try to take those up, within the next 3 weeks. Let's just say, let's get that moving. There's no reason that some of the common sense ones can't be done, prior to us going on break for the summer.
Sure. Okay, great. Thanks.
Okay, we'll do that. And then I guess last but not least, excuse aldermen and women. I'd like to excuse the alderman from the 10th and the alderwoman from the 14th for necessary absences. All right. And with that, I don't think we have any other business today, so I'll move to adjourn the committee hearing.
Second.
All right. Hearing no objection, we are adjourned. Thanks, everybody.